everybody. Kevin Broughton coming at you from Success Unlimited, which is our new social media platform in which we highlight a variety of different industry professionals across the country. And today's episode of Top Producer, I get the distinct pleasure of having a dear friend of mine join. Our guest today is a wonderful guy who lives in Columbia, South Carolina. And his name is John Hinks, Jr. And he and I became friends about 6 years ago, and my life got imminently better when I met him. He's just one of the best guys I know in the industry and out of the industry, and has done wonders with his business. John has closed north of $20.2 million so far year to date, over 88 transactions. He's on pace to crack that 40 million barrier for the first time, and that's even after coming off his best year last year. So he's built a real business on his personal production. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce my friend, Mr. John Hinks. How are you, John?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm doing great, man. How are you, sir?
Great, great. And in honor of you being a South Carolinian, I put a picture, my backdrop is a famous bridge in Charleston. I think a new and an old bridge, right?
That's right. That's right. I remember the old bridge quite fondly. You would drive down that bridge, and if the wind blew just hard enough, you'd be in the right-hand lane, and all of a sudden you're in the left-hand lane. It's a classic bridge, the old Cooper River Bridge.
Well, there's a good picture of it there, and I love your state and have been lucky to visit you and your state of South Carolina many times, one of my favorite places. But we're going to jump right into it, John, talk a little bit about your personal production business. And just so everyone knows, John also runs a hugely successful branch with his partner, Heath Goodrich. But today's topic is about his personal business. So, John, how long have you been doing mortgages, and have you always done them in South Carolina?
Always been in South Carolina. It's funny, my family's been doing mortgages since 1983, so I kind of grew up in the mortgage business. My father ran a mortgage business for quite some time, and I myself personally got into the mortgage business in 2003. But primarily have always been a South Carolina loan originator, but second generation loan originator, and it's been serving our state since 2003, just personally myself. Yeah.
That's great. It's great. 18 years. So you've seen a lot, been through some highs and lows, I'm sure. And rode the wave of the COVID reality in the past 12 to 14 months. What does your team consist of now, John?
So right now I have what I would call a loan partner or a loan coordinator that sits with me daily. And she helps me with my lead intake and pretty much my customer service. And then once we've got a loan that we're ready to sell and lock and disclose, we push it to what I call a loan partner, who she works primarily just with the borrowers. Her name is Jennifer, and she's what I say everything that I'm not, which is very type A and checks and balances. And she has a counterpart named Rachel that works with her on that, so that nothing slips through the cracks when we push it there. And to make sure that she can concentrate on great customer service to the borrowers, I have what we call our version of the processor, who is Debbie. And Debbie is our non-borrowing processor. So she does everything that has to do with an acronym, your VORs, VOEs, your whichever's the title work, the appraisal orders, things that don't have to do with the borrower. So I have a loan partner that concentrates solely on making sure that the borrower is taken care of, and a processor that does the non-borrower stuff. And then, of course, Shannon, who sits next to me and helps me with my lead intake.
So you have three basic people on your team, Shannon, Jen, and Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
And their roles are pretty well defined, correct?
Very defined, yes.
And I would assume that the reason you have those three on your team is it has given you the freedom and the ability to go out and have more hours to generate business?
Absolutely. Yeah. Go out and...
I have known each other for going on, just over 6 years now. And we've talked about this plenty of times, but it's really come true in your life, right? You do not chase page 4 of the Wells Fargo bank statement?
I do not. No. That's not even no. It is not. And it's kind of hard to imagine doing that now, to be honest with you. It's, it's funny, the problems I work on now are completely different than where they were 5 years ago when I first started with Success Mortgage Partners. They're just different challenges. Now the challenge that I wake up to every day is how can I take my volume to the next level or take my business to the next level, but doing it in a cool way where I'm not stressed and overcome with things that are beyond my control. I have an amazing team around me that takes that off of my plate.
Excellent, excellent. And through your, efforts out in the street, you've been able to drive a significant amount of more opportunities to your front door. Is that a true statement because of this time you've now got back to your own?
That's correct. And not only creating more opportunities, but solidifying the current referral partners I have now. A lot of times loan officers think that they have to have more partners in order for them to be able to do more business. A lot of times you just need to solidify your relationships with the person you're already working with because they probably have more to give. And you can also show them the tools that you've learned in order to grow their business so that you can grow together. And that's invaluable for them and for you as well. So that's given me more of an opportunity to solidify relationships with people that I work with on a day-to-day basis. That's what I find most value.
Excellent, excellent. And are there any specific loan programs that you specialize in, or do you do everything, or what's that look like?
We do everything, but I don't like to say I'm a buffet because you can get a little bit of this or a little bit of that. I like to tell people, I like to give people the menu and just say, I'm very good at these things. So when you talk about the big four, your FHA, VA, USDA, and conventional, an agent or financial advisor is going to know that I am very, very good at those particular things in my wheelhouse. So needless to say, I kind of have a non-scarcity mindset where I tell people, I say, look, if I'm not going to be good at a particular thing, or if this is not what my specialty is, I will find you the person that will be good at that. If I were to say the one thing that goes off the cuff a little bit, that's kind of my niche program that I'm known for in my area is the construction loan program. Right. I have a lot of custom builders that really turn to me and know that their clients will be taken care of and won't get tied up in in an institution where it takes months to close. They get the warm buyer in that wants to build this beautiful home, and they come to me and I help them on a step-by-step process. So they get the same customer service they would if they were just doing a regular 30-day transaction.
Good. And John, obviously technology's impacted our industry in ways that probably none of us could have seen 10 or 12 years ago. What have been one or two of the technological changes that have occurred in your personal business that have you've benefited from?
Kevin, it's game changing, man. Technology. It's hard to grasp how the company I'm with now has allowed me to just make our process so much more smooth. And a big part of it for me is lead intake. Loan officers have a hard time with a loan application because, cell phone reception might be poor and you're putting the wrong information down, or you're writing the wrong information down, and you lose the client's interest because you're catching them in the middle of the day and they're like, look, dude, I'm working. I can't take 35 minutes over the phone to spell out, how many months or years I've been at certain addresses. So like our lead intake, like our loan application system is excellent because not only do we get their information in a secure manner, it creates a portal for them to upload their information in a secure manner as well. And the automatic updates for us to be able to get their documentation in a correct way is seamless because any loan officer can laugh at the whole, I asked for a bank statement, not a online transaction, but our technology shows you what a true bank statement looks like and tells you don't send this. That saves so many steps and so much heartache. And what it also does is when people do the online application, it helps create the pipeline so you can go back and do the follow-ups very easily. Your team knows exactly who to contact. If I need to contact someone, that is going through the loan process. I have the app on my phone that gets me their contact information when they put the loan application in. And then once we get in process and we're in underwriting and so forth, the automatic updates to keep everybody informed, it alleviates stress. Like, not knowing is what causes stress and heartache. So the communication through technology, whether it be automatic text or email to the agents to let them know, hey, appraisal's in, everything's good, which is super important nowadays. That's where technology is just taking our business to another level.
Great. That's great news. I love hearing those success stories. And John, let me ask you this. What, if you had to think about what's a challenge that you face on a regular basis in your business? What's one of the bigger challenges that you have to deal with?
Time blocking.
Tough one.
It's a tough one. It's a learned skill and art, and I think you can only really truly execute it when you learn, watch others do it. But time blocking, the challenge that I have is I also manage a lot of loan officers, and I want to see them be as successful as I am, and help them reach the goals that they are. So you got to make sure that you stay dedicated to that promise you make to them at the beginning to do that. So time blocking, the time for me to go out and I guess bring in more loans for my personal business, that's my challenge, is time blocking.
Well, as just a coincidence, I just did a video on the importance of time blocking and 5 little tidbits that you could use to help you do more time blocking. It's up on our social platform, Success Unlimited, so you'll have to check that out.
I did, and my list of what not to do has already been written for the day. So not my list to do, but what not to do.
I do that every day. And we're going to wrap this up with this last question. John, do you see anything on the horizon, maybe over the next 12 months, that's going on in our industry that you think will create any sort of trends or any sort of differences in how we do business today?
I'm a little worried about the affordable housing market. I'm first-time home buyers coming into the market trying to. That's not a now problem. That's a 7 years from now problem. We have a good problem now that someone can sell a home and make quite a nice margin when they originally bought the house, and good for them. But we don't have a lot of buyers right now that can get that affordable housing. And I think we're losing sight of what that's going to do in 7 years. And I'm worried about that. That would be a worry for me. What can I do to fix that is awareness, podcast, education, talking to realtors about it, talking to industry leaders about it. Builders are definitely aware of it. They're pivoting and they're changing the way they build homes so that they can do that. So I think we have a lot of smart leaders in our mortgage industry, in our real estate industry, in our building industry. And a lot of them were around 13 years ago. And when 2008 happened, like myself, and we felt it. We know what it feels like, and we can kind of see some of the signs. I think it's apples, oranges, but if you don't take care of affordable housing, you still have to have that bottom level that's going to buy the next level in 10 years. So we have to take care of those people now. So that's a big worry that I have right now.
It's a legitimate concern. And thankfully, unlike '08, the product availability today is vastly different. And all of the poorly designed mortgage products that were available 13 years are pretty much non-existent. You see a few things come back into the space, but not like we saw in 2008. So a very valid concern, a great observation, something that's on everyone's mind, I think, as we go through the next few years, because it's happening in every market USA. The affordability issue is real, and so many people are being priced out of the markets. It's staggering. So hopefully something can be done on that front. And that's going to wrap it up with John. I thank you so much. Continued success, John. I know there's a high probability you'll crash over that 40 million mark this year, which is quite a milestone. 200 units is within reach too. And so I just thank you for taking a few minutes of your day and sharing with us. We're going to get this circulated and hopefully help one loan originator or more across the country pick up one tidbit to have a better life, to have more freedom, and to have a less stressful day. So I appreciate you sharing, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Have a great day.
You too.